Hey YouTube, how's it going? I'm just making a video right now to tell everybody where I've been. Recently, I ended up getting a new camera. I got a GoPro Max to kind of get some videos while I'm on the Meepo Hurricane Vader, just to kind of get some footage of me riding on it for the review. Unfortunately, like 2 days ago, I ended up getting in a crash. Somebody in the middle of an intersection ended up going over the right side of the board and ended up tearing up the back right part of it. They pretty much just warped the spoiler that I put on it. I put on a backfire board spoiler, and the spoiler looks like somebody just grabbed it and just pretty much got the right end of it and just bent it upward. And then the same thing happened to the wheel on the back right side. It ended up getting pretty warped in the crash too, along with the fender and the fender fork and the bolts. Everything on the back right side is completely warped. I was pretty much taking off and just getting ready to go to a skate shop. That's actually Money Ruins Everything in Oklahoma City, and pretty good skate shop in my opinion. But I was going there to get some parts for my board, like longer bolts for the trucks. And out of nowhere, somebody just ran into the back of my board, and immediately that offset the balance and just threw me off. I think it might have been somebody in a truck. That's what the people told me over at the intersection. Anybody who saw it, pretty much pedestrians. I think one person got out of their car, but as soon as I got thrown off, I got thrown down to the ground. Fortunately, I didn't hit my head. I had my helmet on, nor did I directly impact the concrete. I ended up just seeing from my helmet there was some scratch marks, so my head kind of rubbed against the gravel, but it didn't really impact it. Fortunately enough, so my helmet's still good to go, but obviously not good as new considering the scratches. But yeah, my board is pretty much in the dumps right now. I'm currently contacting Meepo right now with their customer service to see if the warranty is going to cover this. It's been about 367 days, something like that. So I'm not sure as to whether or not they'll cover the replacement for, I wouldn't just say the gear drive, I'd say probably the motor bracket too. So it might need an entirely new motor system along with the gear drive. Or maybe something cheaper like a belt drive. I'm not too sure, but I'm trying to find out from them. So I have yet to hear back from them currently, but I'll find out probably the next day or two because it normally takes them some time to get back to you. But as of now, I'm completely without an electric board. That was my only one, and I'm looking to get other options. In fact, I was a little while ago looking to get something like a BioBoards or an M Boards High Aero Bro 2021, just to kind of expand the things that I'm trying to review and not just keep it limited to the Meepo brand. I am trying to maybe at some point get the Meepo Surge Pack. It's basically an additional battery pack that you put in the middle of your Meepo board, your Meepo Hurricane, I should specify, and not the bamboo deck. It's more geared for the carbon deck. So if you had a carbon Hurricane or a carbon Hurricane four-wheel drive, it's compatible with both of those, and I think adds something like 32 miles to your already pretty large range, so it ends up squaring it out to something like 64 miles on a single charge on both batteries. I thought it was pretty sweet. I was looking to put it on my board along with like two sidebar handles and maybe something like 190 millimeter tires, but I can't really add that to it as in its current state. Those are pretty much the only mods I had left to add onto it. I already had the backfire board spoiler with the taillights. I already had the bull bar from Omni Eskate. In fact, I put that on a day before I ended up crashing. Fortunately, it's still in one piece, but the same can't be said for the spoiler or the rear fender. Rear fender, not rear fenders. The left side is okay, but the right side not so much. Um, and actually, on the front left side, oddly enough, the fender fork ended up coming off. There's basically like this little mount that you put on the truck, and you take the wheel hub off, completely off. So you take the nut, the speed washer, the wheel, and the bearings if they happen to fall off, and then the speed washer on the other side. You slide it into place, and then you drill it down with two washers, and with a bolt. And then after that, you slide all this, or then after that, you slide the speed washer for the wheel back on. Then you put two bolts into this little T, which is basically the fender fork. And then after that, you drill it down on the small little rivet that you put on the truck. And then from there, you drill two in the middle of it, and then from there it reaches up, and then you drill the fender on the very top. So basically, the part on the truck broke, and that's plastic, so you can't really, just minorly weld it or anything. You just got to get a new one. I do have a spare, but with with the motor being broken, that isn't really something that's going to repair the full board. So yeah, I'm down by quite a few things. But short of everything else, I pretty much had everything on there that I wanted. Shred lights, I had the Meepo headlight on there. It's 800 and something lumens compared to the 600 lumens that the shred lights had. So all three of those on there made for a pretty bright like field of vision at night, and especially people being aware of your presence during the day if you had them on flash mode. So yeah, I pretty much had everything on there that I needed, minus the extra battery and maybe a handle to carry it. But yeah, I'm kind of set back right now. And speaking of that, I ended up after falling, having quite. I didn't have quite the injury. I didn't have anything broken, nor did I have any torn ligaments or joints, but I did end up getting quite the bad impact. Pretty much, whenever the guy went over my board, I ended up falling. I think I tumbled a little bit from the marks on the top of my helmet, and this was a visor helmet. It didn't have a bill. So it just went right above the visor and kind of went like this on the gravel scratches, and I ended up kind of tumbling. So I hit my hip, my right hip, and I hit, I believe, my right knee, and then I think the right part of my right shoe ended up hitting the ground too. And though my back didn't hit, I think the side of my back did. And as soon as I got up, the tension was unbelievable in the lower part of my spine. Just above the tailbone, ended up feeling like it just had a noose around it, like a grip, like a vice grip to be very specific. And with that said, it just And sorry, that was my GoPro. And with that said, it just was tough to get up. I ended up falling. I got up just completely anticipating to see a full crowd of traffic just still coming my way. So I got up. I saw everybody was stopped. So I immediately grabbed my board, got out of the road as quickly as I could with all the pain steering through my muscles. And I ended up just getting onto the grass and just laying down because it was just hell to not only stand up but even sit up. So I immediately just fell down and ended up kind of getting on my side like I was about to sleep because it was horrible. I didn't have any brain injuries. It was just a little bit of a brain rattle. You just get a little bit of brain fog from something like that, but you don't really, I don't know, you don't really get any memory loss. The only thing that I don't remember is like the crash itself and me falling. I remember losing balance. I remember kind of falling off the board, but me like tumbling. I don't fully remember that, but I remember enough of it. Um, but with that said, I think that lucky, not only lucky, I wouldn't say lucky to be alive. I don't think you would die from that if you had everything I had on. Everything that I had on was my Beyond Riders gear. I had the reflective shirt on. It was 4:30 in the afternoon, so ain't no way this guy didn't see me. Even at night, he still would have been able to see me with the headlights just beaming off the top part of my shoulder. Um, he I'm 6'4", so standing on top of the board, I'm probably a good 6'6" or 6'7". Um, and so there's no way he didn't see me unless he was looking down at his phone the whole time, you know? Um, yeah. So lucky to be alive, I guess. Lucky to be uninjured. I still have a lot of muscle tension, but fortunately no broken bones, torn ligaments, or torn tendons or anything like that. Just a lot of muscle tension, specifically in the right, specifically like in the right quad on the back, and for some reason in the forearm too. I forgot to mention that I have Apex board gloves, and they have these little along the palm, along down here, pretty much everywhere but the fingertips and the thumb tip. It has these like circular pucks that are pretty much designed to like allow you to keep your hands on the ground and not rub off your skin, not rub off any of the texture of the glove. But they don't last forever. In my experience, they only last for about 2 or 3 falls, and then it just pretty much goes down to the textiles of the gloves. So with that said, it's definitely a good glove, but not the best for long term because eventually the slider pucks do end up kind of deteriorating with all the tension and all the resistance that they get across the asphalt road. So I think I skinned my right hand, but I did have my gloves on, so it wasn't too much of a bad thing. But yeah, I think to conclude, it'll be a little bit before I can really post anything. I do have some footage from my Meepo rides going on like the Oklahoma City River Trail, just riding in general. So I'll be sure to post something like that. And I did pretty much finish recording and editing the review of it. And you'll kind of notice there's different stages of how the board looks because at different stages I did add on certain things like the shred lights, the Meepo brand headlight, the backfire board, spoiler, fenders too. I At one point I had a full set. At another point I had like a half set, and at another point I had like three on there. It just depends on what the footage is. So keep in mind it's gonna look a little off at some points, but yeah, for the most part it's all together a great board, and you'll pretty much see the review up in about maybe 2 days or something like that. I just got some finishing touches to put on it before I do, and yeah, more to come in the future. Hopefully, the near future. Hopefully, when I say future, it won't be 3 months from now until I can get another board. But yeah, I'll be sure to keep posting. I have some other things in the work, like here where I live, there used to be two indoor parks. I think something about like 8 years ago, one indoor park closed, and now here in within the last 3 months, the last indoor park closed. I went there myself twice last year. It was great, and yeah, now unfortunately there's no more indoor parks where I live. It's quite a shame to be honest, but yeah, I'm gonna make a video on that and on a few other things. So I'll keep you guys posted. Be sure to look for the review. I'm also gonna post a review of all my Beyond Riders gear because time after time that has just saved my skin with how well made it is and how easy it is to save on stuff if you get the proper gear for what you're using it for, like level 1 or level 2 pads, different stuff like that. So I'll give a rundown of all that stuff, give a review of it. I'd just say keep looking at the channel. I'm going to be posting probably every 2 or 3 days from here on out because I want to keep this channel going and not be so spotty in my uploads. I know I've been a little spotty, but up to this point. But looking forward, I want to keep a steady upload schedule for you guys, and keep you entertained and keep you posted on different things. So this is Chet Chaser signing out. See ya.